With a few strokes of the keyboard, it allows us to communicate with people across the globe. With a push or touch of a button, it keeps us engaged and connected. The world now pushes for higher connectivity, faster serving and downloading speeds, from 3G to 4G and now 5G. But what is also true is that with every apparent communication advancement, we are increasingly putting ourselves at imperceptible health risks. Our five senses cannot detect this form of wireless hazards, but our body can. With longer hours using wireless headphones during office meetings, every wireless device that our toddlers or children plays on, any types of microwave oven we use to bake our cakes in, or induction cookers that we use to cook our food. While this enhances our life, we are not realizing how we are exposing ourselves and our loved ones with high levels of radiations.
The World Health Organization says there are some indications of an increased risk of glioma for those who reported the highest 10% of cumulative hours of cell phone use.
The reality is there's a significant increase in glioblastomas. Unfortunately, they're very, very deadly.
I have listed peer-reviewed studies establishing the connection between non-thermal radiofrequency radiation from cell phones and brain cancer known as glioblastoma.
Most cell phones have a warning in them that say to hold the phone away from your body to avoid radio frequency exposure, but most of us don't know about this warning.
The WHO has classified EMF as possibly carcinogenic to humans, Group 2B, a category used when a causal association is considered credible.
See, my friends, radiation can harm the body internally. We need to protect ourselves more than ever to adapt to the new wireless world. Start protecting your own bodies and those around you so we can all live a better and healthier life.
Guys, I just got the chills. Every time I see the video, I just get chills. You know, I think what the video said there was absolutely amazing and eye-opening, because
With a few
a lot of us, we are aware, but we don't really understand, and we don't have a solution even if we understand. So in today, we're going to solve all that. All right. So introducing, guys, emGuarde's latest patented technology called the emGuarde, and the name itself kind of elaborates on what it does. EM standing for electromagnetic, and guard meaning for guard. All right, so it's a very amazing technology. Most people have not even heard of it. And you guys are probably one of the first few people in your town or even in your district that's ever gotten to know about this technology. All right, so let's get started, guys. Why is it that, oops, let me silence my phone. Okay, now why is it that every single one of us needs an emGuarde in our house ASAP? Well, you see, 30 years ago, which is my age, actually, I'm born in 1994. I'm 30 this year. And 30 years ago, when I was growing up as a kid, I had no exposure to any of these electronic gadgets. Zero. I grew up playing with toy cars. I grew up digging up the soil in my playground. I grew up climbing trees, you know, and that was pretty much my childhood. Now, something has shifted. The shift has happened where you see children nowadays, they're glued to their technology. They're glued to their parents' phones, their parents' iPads, and they're playing games, they're watching YouTube videos, Netflix movies, you name it, all right? But the exposure of children nowadays to these gadgets are like, I can only think 1,000 times more compared to my childhood and even some of you guys. And some of you who are parents, perhaps you can also relate to this. Maybe your children are spending a lot more time on these gadgets, right? But the thing is, when I was growing up, right, my mom always told me, limit the exposure to the computer. That was the first time I ever been exposed to a computer. And mom was like, no, limit yourself. 2 hours a day at most. But I was addicted. I was like, computer, so fun, right? Computer games and everything. But nowadays, parents don't do that. Parents just let their children use their phones, their computers as much as they want. And granted, yes, it is necessary because people today need to know how to use these gadgets to work in the future. Granted, right? But there is a a side effect, or there's a consequence to this as well. All right. Now, what we are talking about is a very different kind of pollution. And now we are very aware of the normal pollutions that is around us, water, air, or even noise. This type of pollution, we call it the electromagnetic radiation pollution, or EMF radiation pollution. Now, the very interesting thing about this pollution, is that it does not in any way affect any of our senses directly. We don't see it, we don't smell it, we don't hear it, sometimes we don't even feel it. So humans have a very bad habit, because when it does not affect any of our senses, if it does not seem like a threat to any of our senses, we ignore the threat. We choose not to acknowledge it. Maybe we acknowledge it, but we forget about it completely. All right. So what are the sources in your home right now that are actually producing these EMF radiation? Basically, anything that requires electricity to operate. Scary, isn't it? Because if you look at your house, look in your room right now, you may be in your bedroom, your living room, or even your study or your workroom, you can at least identify 10 electronic gadgets in your surroundings. And every single one of these gadgets are actually emitting EMF radiation. All right, these are some examples of some of the gadgets that actually do produce this EMF radiation. Right, cell phones, we all have cell phones. We all have laptops and iPads. We all have an air conditioner. In Asia, if you don't have an air conditioner, it's very difficult because it's very hot in Asia. And I'm assuming also in parts of like Australia and certain parts are hotter as well, right? It gets very uncomfortable. But imagine this. Imagine if one day you can actually start seeing radiation. You can start seeing the frequency waves. You can start seeing all these invincible waves. And you walk into your living room, for example, and you'd be like, oh my, would you step in? Would you step into your living room if you could see frequency waves? No way. I wouldn't. I would run away, right? But fortunately, we are unable to see it. But also, we need to be aware that it is present in our surroundings, right? This is the reality. All these frequency waves actually travel around our space. Now, this was something that was covered in the first video I played. This is by World Health Organization, WHO for short. Now, if you listen very carefully to the video, it says that they classified radio frequency electromagnetic fields as possibly carcinogenic to humans. And the carcinogenic group that they categorize it under is called group 2B. Now, quickly, just give a quick Google, right? You can type IARC, this 4 letters here, IARC, group 2B, carcinogenic cigarettes. And you would find there's a report saying that chemicals used to produce cigarettes are actually also in this group. And we all know the chemicals from cigarettes are carcinogenic. So when I see this information as a normal person, when I say normal person, means I don't have a science background, I'm not an engineer, I'm not a scientist, I'm just an accountant, I'm a business guy. Right? But when I see this type of information, I can only think to myself and conclude that being in a room full of EMF radiation is literally being in a room full of secondhand smokes, or you inhaling the cigarette itself. Is that scary? Do you guys think that's scary? If you think it's scary, type yes in the chat for me. Guys, this is not what I'm saying. I'm just concluding from the information that I've seen in front of me. Right? Go ahead, Google. Just Google IARC Group 2B carcinogenic cigarettes, and you will see the chemicals used to produce cigarettes are also in that group. Hands down, it scares the living world out of me. All right? Increased risk for glioma, which is a type of brain cancer, and it's associated with our wireless phones, guys. Okay, so now some people will say, how do you tell? How can we identify if in our surroundings there are actually these sort of EMF radiation? Well, we know for a fact the EMF radiation is present. And we know for a fact that EMF radiation is in the form of a frequency wave, right? So the first type of detector is called the RD9300. It is one of our staple detectors. It's a device that we use to prove the existence of these frequencies in our surrounding, right? Now, if you look very carefully at this detector, it's a photo right in front of you. There's actually two dots, and these are for some people, some information. If you have gotten your hands on one of these detectors, there are actually two settings right here, a single dot and a double dot, right? Now, a single dot is used to measure AC power. It is used to measure the presence of electric in your gadgets. So if you use the one setting, it only detects electricity. Now, the second setting, the two dot setting, is measuring 3 to 1000 megahertz high frequency electromagnetic noise radiation. So if you have one of these devices, you want to make sure that you're on the right setting, which is the two dots. So what is the detector? This detector is used for two things. Is to measure the electromagnetic noise radiation density from 3 megahertz to 1000 megahertz. And it's also to identify when you are protected by the emGuarde. All right. So let me demonstrate this device very quickly by using a video that my team and I have kind of recorded for you guys. All right. Now, but before I play the video, I just want to kind of show how the device works really quick. So now my emGuarde is unplugged. You don't see a cable with it. I'm going to turn this on. If you see here, it shows a number, and the number will only be up to 4 digits. All right. Now, FCC, which is the Federal Communications Commission in the United States, said that the power density of a frequency or a radiation frequency that is below 200 microwatts per centimeter square is acceptable. Anything above 200, it is a health hazard. So if you look here carefully, there's nothing in front of the ring. There's only my head, right? And it's already beeping at 300 to 500. Can you guys see that? So this is how the detector works. It measures the power density of the radiation frequency. So very quickly, let's take a look at this.
Here we have the RD9300 radiation detector. It has two settings. The one dot setting measures low frequency 50 to 60 Hz. For the emGuarde demo, you want to be using the two dot setting, which measures high frequency of 3 MHz to 1000 MHz. When you turn on the RD, make sure to switch it to a two dot setting before you do your emGuarde demo. Let's take a look at the next clip. Now in front of me, I have the regular devices that I use every single day. Now with the help of a special tool, we're able to find out exactly how much radiation is coming out of these devices. Now notice, anything above 200 is considered high levels of radiation. So let's turn it on. I'm going to put it next to the laptop, and as you can see, the reading is well above 200. These are for your laptops. Now I'm going to come over here to the tablets, which I use every single day. And here we have with me my phone. Let's take a look. Now just imagine the harm you could be doing to your body when you pick up the phone and you start talking on the phone while it's next to your ears. Now, knowing all this, you should definitely consider reducing the usage, especially among children. But let's be real. In the world that we live in today, it is almost impossible to live without these devices. Now, those of you like me who use wireless earpods regularly to speak on the phone or listen to music while you're having a jog, you have to see this. Now, when I flip it open, it shows a reading on the detector. But the moment I put them onto my ears, let's check it out. Take a look at that. The reading coming off while it's being connected to my ears and to my phone is significantly higher. All right. Now, I know that some of you have already decided to reduce the usage of these devices. But let me show you something. Now, in an environment like this, looking peaceful and balanced, however, there are actually still fundamental radiation that lurks around.
Introducing emGuarde, a patented technology by Enagic. When turned on, emGuarde harmonizes targeted electromagnetic noise radiation within 1000 MHz, creating a defense zone of 8 meters. Simply place it at a suitable area and plug it into a dedicated 5V 2 to 6A output power source.
Now with the emGuarde turned on, let's get back to using my earpods. All right, it's on. And let's take a look. It shows 0. Thanks very much. So when it shows 0 on the radiation detector, you are in the harmonized zone of emGuarde. It is as if you are turning your living environment into a sanctuary.
Do you guys love that video? Amazing, right? Now, if you see Simon, thank him for that. He was the one that made and recorded that video. And I think it's such an amazing video because it really shows the power of the emGuarde as well as how the detector RD9300 works. All right, guys, so this is the emGuarde. This is the solution that we have. The solution to protect our homes and make it a sanctuary for all of us by protecting us from the harms of EMF radiation. Right, it's a very small device. It's not very big. It's about probably the size of my hand. All right, it's very portable. It's very light. And all you need to do is just basically just plug it into a power source, like a power bank, if you're on the move. It's best if you put it into a power socket. Okay. Now, the function of the emGuarde, it is basically harmonizing targeted high frequencies electromagnetic noise radiation up to 1000 megahertz. All right. So don't have to worry because some people may have questions. If I have this emGuarde at home, does it stop my cell phone signal? Does it affect my Wi-Fi? The answer is no. That is because your phone and your Wi-Fi signals are well above 1000 megahertz. So we're only talking about 3 megahertz to 1000 megahertz. That is the range that the emGuarde is covering and protecting us. And I'll explain why this range is important for us human beings. Okay, the coverage range of the emGuarde is about 8 meters in diameter. It looks like a sphere, like a force field, right? Like a Star Wars kind of thing. Now, you don't have to necessarily have your emGuarde next to you. I just prefer it to be next to me all the time. But you don't have to. If you have a home and you want to cover most of your sleeping areas or your common areas, you can just find a centralized area and it will pretty much cover up to 8 meters in radius. And yes, it will go through doors, it will go through walls, just that it will slightly affect the range, maybe just a little bit reduced, right? So that is the emGuarde. This is a solution. Now let's talk about the negative health effects of actually exposing our bodies to too much EMF radiation, right? Because we need to know that. We need to know what's actually happening to us when we use our phones too much, or if we, let's say, don't have an environment harmonizer like the emGuarde. You see, this is a report done by EMF Safety Network. It's a survey done in 2019, right? They kind of had 871 participants participate in this survey. And all of them were basically answering questionnaires based off them being exposed to too much EMF. And the common consensus was, in the survey, a lot of people actually had sleep problems. 71% of participants encountered sleep problems. 64% of participants had fatigue because they used too much of these electronic gadgets. Some of them had concentration, memory, or even learning problems, stress and anxiety. And this one I think is very relatable to some people. 52% is headaches. Now, how many of you, just quickly type in the chat for me, type 2 in the chat for me. Have you ever used your electronic device for a period of time and suddenly you got a headache or migraine out of nowhere? If this has ever happened to you, type 2 in the chat for me, right? Because a lot of my friends who are working in corporate worlds and even in offices, some of them, they complain, hey, I have headaches, I have migraines, I feel very tired all the time. Why do I feel so weak and tired as soon as I enter the office? This survey kind of proves it. All right. Now, this is a very interesting video. Let's take a look at it together. It's by a doctor. I don't really know how to pronounce his name, Dr. Satvinder. Right? Let's take a look at what he has to say.
The children's brain, like the hypothalamus, it tends to absorb 1.5 to 2 times more electromagnetic fields than an adult. But if you look at the child's bone marrow, it absorbs an amazing 10 times more electromagnetic radiation than an adult. The brain is much more absorbent, the skull is thinner, and because the relative size is smaller, if I give you the same dosage, your smaller tissue is going to absorb more than the bigger tissue. The first thing you have to do is keep the appliance that's emitting the radiation further apart from you, like handphones. Off all power points when they're not in use. Number 3, you could use electromagnetic field harmonizers, which will balance out the radiation side effects from the appliance.
There we go. Guys, I just wanted to sidetrack a little bit. Can you guys hear me? Am I audible? If I'm audible, type 1 in the chat for me. Yes, okay. Was I speaking too fast just now? Or am I speaking too fast? If I'm speaking too fast, I can slow down. All good? Okay. Yeah, so just now my question was, how many of you, when you have used your phone or your computer for too long, have you gotten a headache? If you have gotten a headache because you've been using your phone or too long, type me in the chat for me. I see some questions. Sarah, does it also run on batteries for traveling? I heard talk on lithium battery. No, the emGuarde is completely batteryless. It does not have any batteries inside. You need to have an external battery source for it. You can use a lithium battery power bank. That's not a problem. Just make sure that the power bank is a good quality one and it also has a high enough power capacity. All right. All right, let's come back into the video that we just... All right, guys, I know there's a lot of questions. I'm going to not answer the questions now. Save your questions, so towards the end, I can answer those questions for you, okay? Now, basically what the doctor was saying is that, yes, the adult human body is capable of absorbing huge amounts of EMF radiation, but even children bone marrow had the tendency to absorb this radiation 10 times more than adults. And that's the reason why if you have a young one in your home right now, you need an emGuarde immediately, because these children that are in your house, they are actually absorbing this EMF radiation 10 times more than they're supposed to. All right, guys, so that's one of the main factors why the emGuarde is necessary in everybody's house, right? Now, let's get into why emGuarde is harmonizing up to 1000 megahertz. Why is it that range? Why is it not more? Why is it below 1000 megahertz? Because based off the FCC's exposure limit, the human body absorbs RF energy at some frequencies more effectively than others. The most restrictive limit occurs in the frequency range of 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz. So what this is by the FCC, by the way. The FCC is telling us that the human body, for some reason, absorbs radio frequency radiation or energies between 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz just very effectively. All right. The reason for that, they further explained, is because certain body organs in our body are functioning within these frequency range. If you take a look here, your normal brain frequency is 72 megahertz. Your liver, your heart, all of these frequencies are among these range. And that's just how our bodies operate, right? Our body just have a very normal range of operating frequencies. So how is all of these frequencies actually affecting our body? How is it reaching our body? let me introduce to you something called the resonance theory, right? Let's take a look at the video on the left of the screen. Now, so the resonance theory, very simple experiment. I'm sure some of you have played with a tuning fork before, right? Probably in high school or even in college or in your science classroom. Basically, what it says is that if two tuning forks are of the same frequency and they're not physically attached to each other, and they may be certain distance from each other, if you give a ring to one of those tuning forks, the frequency can actually travel through space and time and actually affect the other tuning fork on the other side. And when I see this, I can only imagine that if my phones are producing all of these frequencies and it's actually affecting my brain is like basically knocking around like that, right? That's how I think it works. That's the resonance theory. And that's how these radiations are actually affecting you. I mean, you don't have to be standing in front of your aircon. You don't have to have your phone next to you all the time. Even if it's one arm length away, it is still affecting your body, right? So this is the resonance theory. And this is also one of the reasons why the emGuarde was created, to harmonize the frequencies that are harmful to the human body, right? So this is a very interesting detector. It's called the RTL SDR. Now, it's a very basic setup. You can actually buy this setup off Amazon, or if you're from Asia, you can buy from Lazada or even Shopee, right? So this setup is basically an antenna that you attach to an Android phone, a Samsung phone if preferred. And what this does, you can actually download an app on your phone, and this antenna picks up the frequency in your surroundings, right? So let's take a look at the video and we'll demonstrate how this device works.
This is called the SDR software, and it's gonna actually detect the electromagnetic interference in this area. So what David is gonna do now, he's going to actually turn on the software. You can download this software on your Android phone. You just have to pay a couple dollars, you get the software. So I want you guys to see. Just zoom in on the phone, Ben. You can just take a look at this. I don't know if you guys can hear it. So the software is connected to a dongle that connects to an antenna, and the antenna is receiving the interference around this room. It's unbelievable. Take a look at the chart. It is crazy, absolutely crazy. We have not seen this anywhere else. Okay, so now what we want to find out is, if we have the emGuarde, what can it do to us and what can it do for us? So it's not connected. Now I'm going to put next to the SDR software. I'm going to turn it on in 3, 2, 1. Look at the wave spectrum. It's gone down. I'm going to unplug the emGuarde. All right. Take a look at the suppression, guys. Here, take a look at the suppression. Boom. With the emGuarde turned on. If you guys are watching this, I want you guys to bring your emGuarde everywhere you go, especially in cities like this, and make sure you always keep yourself protected. See you guys soon.
So that is the first type of detector that we can use to actually detect the frequencies in our surrounding, to prove the existence of the frequencies that are actually harming us. Now, the second device is also an SDR device, but this device is very unique. You can also buy it off Amazon or even any of the e-commerce websites. It's called the BarJ SDR device, right? The interesting thing about this device is that you don't need an Android phone. All you need is this device, and it's very portable, and it's all in one, right? Now let's take a look at another video that Simon has created on how this BarJ SDR device works.
Hi everyone, today I'm very excited to share with you another great marketing tool that you can use for your emGuarde demo. It's called the BarJ SDR detector, and what I love about this detector is it has a big screen, and it's very easy to set up and use. It's not affected by static interference, and it also has a loudspeaker for you to use during an emGuarde demo. You'll know what I'm talking about later on. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to introduce David right there. David, say hi to the camera. Hello. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a before and after emGuarde test using the Bajay. All right, and I want you to see the difference on the screen. So I'm going to turn on the detector. And once it's turned on, the first thing you can see is this waterfall spectrum that comes down. And what you will notice is I've actually tuned the Bajay to 72 megahertz because that is the operating frequency of our brain. And you would notice the noise radiation level here via the dB scale. All right. And these are all the data of the noise radiation. So I'm also going to turn on the speaker for you guys to hear. All right, and in the count of 3, David is going to turn on the emGuarde, and I want you guys to see the difference. In 3, 2, 1, go. Take a look at that. All right, so what you would notice is instantly the dB scale noise level has reduced, and the green color wave spectrum has already been cleared to a very dark blue color, which means this area is cleared off of the noise interference. All right, so let's do another test. Let's pull out the emGuarde again, turn it off, and you would see everything comes back instantly. And now with the emGuarde turned on again, you would see instantly the results. So this is simply amazing, right? Now the Bajay is able to really showcase what the brain and our organs are going through every single day, and it's able to convert something that is invisible into something that we can see and experience. All right, so this is the short demo for the Bajay SDR detector. All right, so emGuarde aims to create an environment for all of its users into a peaceful and serene environment. All right, so if you want to know where to get the Bajay SDR detector, it's available on most of the e-com websites. I will put the model name at the end of this video for you guys to go and purchase your detector. Happy emGuarding!
All right, guys. So if you guys want to get hold on yourself for yourself a Bajay device, it's called Bajay SDR detector. You can find it on, like Simon says, on most e-commerce platforms. All right. So another more like a key benefit of an emGuarde, as well as one of the side effects of being exposed to too much EMF radiation. Now we're going to dive into something a bit more serious here, because this is actually a research that was done by this doctor. Her name is Dr. Magda Havas. She's a Canadian researcher and a professor, and she spent a lot of time researching about how the body reacts to being exposed to too much electromagnetic pollution. In her words, she called it electro smog. Okay. Now she actually tested red blood cells, human red blood cells. She says in a clean EMR environment. What is a clean EMR environment? A clean EMR environment is an environment like the beach, going on a hike in a forest, standing in the middle of a grass field. But all of these, you must not have any phones at all. So my question to every single body in the chat, and respond to me, please. Do you think that your current living room, your current bedroom, your current house, your sanctuary right now, do you think it is a clean EMR environment? Type yes for yes and no for no. Absolutely no. No. No way, right? In our living room right now, unless you have an environment harmonizer like the emGuarde, your environment at this moment of time, it is not a clean EMR environment. Now, if you look very closely in her research, right, she says the red blood cells in a clean EMR environment looks like this. It's free-flowing. They're very separated from each other. And if you look under the microscope, they're actually quite fast-moving as well, right? But she says, when you expose your red blood cells or even your body to 70 minutes, let's say on a computer, or even 10 minutes 10 minutes, guys, on a phone, what happens to the red blood cells is they start to stack. She calls this the Rulux formation, right? And the Rulux formation, if you take a look at it, guys, to me, it looks like a traffic jam in your body. Now, we all know that when you are in a traffic jam, nothing is going anywhere fast. So if your red blood cells, which is supposed to transport oxygen throughout your body, is in a traffic jam, that is the reason why she says when you have the Rulux formation, there is poor circulation in your body, there is low oxygen transport, reduced waste removal, headache, fatigues, and so on and so forth. So the Rulux formation is definitely something that we need to fight against using the emGuarde. Now, the next video, guys, you guys want to pay attention. This video is absolutely amazing. It is actually a video that we recorded ourselves to do the blood test ourselves. All right, let's take a look at it.
Okay, so what we can do is you get on your phone for maybe close to about half an hour, holding it, and then we'll check again and see how does the capillary blood look like.
It looked like my first blood test result was clean, with no signs of blood clotting or blood clumps. But would just 30 minutes of cell phone usage really do any harm at all to my body? I hope not. Let's find out.
Okay, let's have a look. So you can see all the cells now being stacked. See, all of them you cannot see those loose cells. You can see most of the cells now all stacked.
Clumped up together, right?
Exactly. Just look at that. The big message is always to try to reduce our exposure. It's almost impossible not to use, but try to be a bit more cautious in the usage.
The thing is, I know you say it's better to reduce. It's impossible for somebody like me, and I'm sure there's lots of people out there that also need to be holding their phones. So, is there anything I can do?
This is the device that can actually help harmonize your electromagnetic frequency wave. And you want to see how it works?
Sure.
Come.
With the environment harmonizer turned on beside me, Dr. Roland and I proceeded to do a third blood test to see just how well this technology supposedly suppresses EMR. Okay, so this looks completely different to the last test, doesn't it?
Yep. Clearly looks different, lesser Rulux formation.
There you go, guys. This was a video that we recorded ourselves. We actually got somebody and we actually went to a proper clinic with a certified doctor and a nurse, and we actually did all the testings ourselves. And you can see the results. You can see the results very clearly. Now, very quickly in the chat for me, if you want, which type of blood would you like? Would you like the left or would you like the right? Type for me in the chat, left or right. Definitely the right, guys. I mean, nobody wants a traffic jam, especially in their bodies. Now, if you guys are interested to where to find this video, you can actually find this video on YouTube. You just have to go YouTube, type in Dr. Roland emGuarde, and you'll be able to find this video on YouTube. You can share it among your prospects or even your family to share the awareness of what EMF radiation is truly doing to our human bodies. All right, go ahead and find that video on YouTube. Now,
So what we
this is also pretty much the same thing, but it's a different candidate. He is a male in his late 60s. He actually went to a clinic as well to do the test himself, and the same thing has happened to him. The same results. 20 minutes before, 20 minutes of mobile phone usage before emGuarde, Rulux formation. 20 minutes of mobile phone usage after emGuarde was turned on, and you can see that the Rulux formation has cleared up, right? So how does the emGuarde really work, guys? You see, this report right here is an extremely important report because it identifies what the emGuarde is doing, and it also proves that the emGuarde is truly doing what it says it's doing. Because this report, Enagic Malaysia sent the emGuarde to the University of Science of Malaysia, which is a government-owned science facility in Malaysia, completely third party, and we did the report there. Right? And the two results that showed was that the first result, the emGuarde successfully performed as required at distances of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 meters. So it's not 4 meters, guys. It's more than 4 meters. It's all the way up to 6 meters. And the reason for that is because eMagics just love to under-promise and over-deliver. Very good for us because we know that the distance is slightly further. The second result is the emGuarde effectively suppresses unwanted electromagnetic noise waves from these frequencies, 35 megahertz to 37, 71 to 73, and 107 megahertz to 109 megahertz. Now, some of you will be asking, why didn't you test all the frequencies? Because there was not enough time, right? When you go for these type of science experiments, you're only given a allotted time, and they can only do the experiment for certain frequencies. And these were the few frequencies that we choose to experiment on, because these frequencies are the closest to our human organs, normal operating frequency. All right. So if you look here, this is also another report, same report, sorry, but this one is very important. It says percentage of suppression. Suppression of what? Because the emGuarde is suppressing these frequencies, am I right? So we're talking about suppression here. If you look carefully, these are all in percentages. The suppressions are all in 99.8, 99.9. The lowest I see is probably 60, 49. Working office, if you look here, it's a working office. This is probably because there's a lot of metal things around, there's a lot of mirrors and everything. But pretty much in a residential space, everything is way above 93%. All right. So this is very important because it proves to us that the suppression is actually happening. So in conclusion, guys, the report says that the emGuarde is truly suppressing all of these frequencies, and the coverage range is up to 6 meters. Now, I don't know if that's a wonderful news for you, but when I see this, it gives me a lot of confidence because I know for a fact that this report proves that the emGuarde truly works, because evidence always beats conversation, right? So the key features of the emGuarde is an easy integration. It's just a very stylish black looking box. All you gotta do is just find the best place to put it and just plug it into a USB-C socket, into a wall socket, and the emGuarde will start protecting as soon as it's turned on. Coverage range, as we know, is not 8 meters, is more than that, up to 12 meters in diameter, 6 meters in radius. It uses a Type-C cable, a USB-C Type-C cable to supply the power to the emGuarde. One device, one big coverage. Basically, it covers multiple rooms, it goes through walls, it goes through doors, and it will cover most of your common spots in your home. Low running costs, guys. Do you know how much it costs to actually operate this device every single month? I'm not going to go through the math, but me and my team, we have calculated how much it costs per kilowatt in Malaysia and this and that. It only costs roughly about 10 cents US dollars to operate this device a month, because the power capacity that it needs is very, very low, right? And guys, no maintenance whatsoever. This device is just plug and play. No maintenance. Just make sure not to drop it, right? Don't drop it, but just put it somewhere safe and secure. No maintenance necessary at all. Now, a few tips on how to keep your emGuarde. Do not, I repeat, do not put your emGuarde in a mess like this, right? To minimize potential interference, it's advisable to keep the emGuarde at a distance of over half a meter from other electronic devices, okay? And you want to put the emGuarde, don't put it on the floor. You want to put it somewhere elevated, maybe on the table or even on a cabinet or even on a shelf. And you want to make sure it's up, because why? It covers left, right, top and bottom. All right. So you want to make sure that your upper floor also is covered. So, but don't put it on the floor, guys, and don't put it near anything metal or even glass. So no glass tables, no metal tables. Preferably, if you want to put it on a metal table, just make sure you put it on the box itself. Okay. Now, where is this effective? Basically anywhere. Home office, living room, work office, restaurant, work room, bedroom, car vehicle, as well as your kids' room as well. Anywhere it is completely safe. There's no harm to the user whatsoever. It only protects us from the harms of EMF radiation. And there we go, guys. This is what we're gonna. This is what we're talking about. This is the problem, the silent, invincible threat that's around us, that's causing harm to our bodies without us knowing. And we have a solution now. The solution called the emGuarde that's capable of not only protecting you, your entire family. All right. Now, I have gotten some reports and I've asked people for their own personal testimonies on what the emGuarde has truly done for them since they've invested in one. Almost all of them has mentioned one thing in common, that they have gotten better sleep at night. So my question is, and even for myself, guys, I've gotten better sleep as well. So my question is, let's just say this device just improves your sleep. That is all. It improves your sleep and that is it. Don't you think that this device adds so much value to us? Just sleep alone. If you can have better sleep every single day from today onward. I want this device immediately because I know sleep is important. If I get good sleep, my next day, I am super productive. Am I right, guys? But we know it doesn't just improve our sleep. It protects us constantly from the harms of EMF radiation, removing the potential of Rulox formation to form in our body, right? And keeping us safe and our children safe all the time. The investment of this particular amazing technology for your house is at a price of $1,480 US. In my personal opinion, it is too cheap. So I gotten myself 3. One for me, one for my grandparents, and one for my parents. Because I know this device has a lot of value and it can add a lot of value, especially when it comes to your everyday activities. All right, guys, so after seeing this information, after going through what we have gone through in our presentation, I hope that you guys can see that this device is necessary in your homes. You go ahead, do the research you need to do your due diligence, research about EMF radiation, research about Rulox formation, research about everything you need to research about, and you would see that all the research points towards EMF radiation actually harming the human body. All right. So this is the emGuarde. Our slogan is change your environment, change your life. All right, there we go, guys. This is the product. Now, I think there are probably a few questions for the product. I'm going to answer a few of them before I jump into the next section. Yumesh says, if I plug this device 24/7, what will happen? Nothing. This device is meant to be plugged in 24/7. By the way, guys, it is a 5-year lifespan, 1-year warranty from the company, but a 5-year lifespan. But after 5 years, it doesn't mean that the device just stops working. After 5 years, the coverage just slightly goes down and down and down. Electronics, right? It's like your phone battery. If there is no power, is it working? No, you need to plug it into a power source. And Casey, yes, it works on a plane. You know, some planes have USB-C slots. You can just plug it in right there and you can actually keep your emGuarde. It does not in any way interfere with any of the airplane's gadgets or anything like that. I myself, when I fly, I always carry my emGuarde along. Can we use a power bank? Yes, you can use a power bank. But the power bank must be a good power bank, yeah? Now, the video of the doctor is called Dr. Roland emGuarde. Just search it on YouTube. There we go. Okay. What is the durability? So what is the durability? I don't really know what that means, but all I can say is that do not drop the box. Right? Because like any electronic devices, inside they're electronic, so you do not want to drop it. Okay. Sarah says, I think she direct messaged me. My son seems to think it interferes with Wi-Fi. It does not. The reason for that is Wi-Fi operates at 2.3 gigahertz or 2300 megahertz. All right. So if emGuarde is functioning at, if emGuarde is only harmonizing up to 1000 megahertz, it will not interfere with the Wi-Fi or even your phone calls. The warranty will pretty much guarantee, let's say if the device just stops working, let's say if the device is supposedly turned on and your detector is beeping away, then you can bring in for warranty. If you drop it, that is your own mistake. That will be a cost for you to repair the internals. Okay, durability means the lifespan of the device is 5 years. 5 years. After 5 years, the coverage range will slightly decrease. Umesh, I cannot answer that question for you. That one you need to speak with eMagic office. If it does not protect from wireless and towers, aren't those frequencies even more harmful? Nadine, that's a very good question. Now, to answer that question, we have to go back to the FCC's report. The FCC report states that the human body is more susceptible at absorbing RF energy at 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz. But outside of that frequency, our human body actually has a natural defense against those frequencies. So your Wi-Fi, your 3G, 4G, 5G, yes, it does harm, but not at the level of the frequencies between 30 to 300. I hope that gives you clarity, right? I'm not saying Wi-Fi is not harmful. It is just way less harmful. That's all I can say. Okay, any competitor in the market at the moment? No, there are no competitors in the market that I know of at the moment. The other type of products in the market, they are nothing similar to emGuarde. Some promote stickers, some promote glass bowls and all that kind of stuff. It does not work. Okay, emGuarde is the only one with this technology. Will it itself emit radiation? Yes, that's a good question. It will, but the harmonics frequency that comes out of the emGuarde will itself kind of eliminate the radiation it emits itself. You know what I'm saying? I have not researched about Blue Shield, so I will not comment there. I know that there's a team. Okay, guys, you guys are asking a lot of questions. Some of these questions, guys, is not in this call. Some of these questions will be answered in the intensive training. All right. The intensive training happens maybe once a month, so you want to look out on the Telegram group to catch that intensive training. It will cover all of these questions. But all I know, in the intensive training, we have also, we will mention certain competitors, and we'll kind of explain why those are not competitors to us. All right, guys. So for now, I will stop answering the questions because I want to get on into the next section. All right, the next section will be related towards the business opportunity available. Now, if you see a huge potential for this particular product and you want to be part of this movement, or you want to be one of the pioneering distributors for this product, you're in for a treat because the company emGuarde, they're actually looking for distributors worldwide. All right. So this technology, yes, you can be part of it. So in this next section, I will share with you, how do you get involved? What is it in for you when you get involved? And what is the long-term perspective if you do get involved? All right. So let's dive into it. Let's dive into emGuarde's commission chart. Now, to understand the commissions, I must first speak about the company. Because the company emGuarde, it is not some small company that popped up a year ago or 2 years ago. No. emGuarde is actually, I have a second bottle here. If you can see, emGuarde is a 50-year-old Japanese company, right? And the company is established in Okinawa. That's where the headquarters is. And emGuarde are actually the manufacturers of the amazing Kangen water machines. Now, if you have heard of Kangen water machines, you have probably heard a lot of amazing things about it because people absolutely love this water because of the amounts of health benefits that they get from drinking the Kangen water. Me personally, I will never drink any other water but the Kangen water. It is the best drinking water on the planet. And they've been selling it for almost 30 years. So if you can see, guys, emGuarde is not a small company. We are partnering with a very, very reputable company that has footprints all around the world. How many footprints? We actually have 46 offices in 23 countries. That's how big this company is, right? But the business, the emGuarde business is a business with no monthly qualifications. You don't need to meet a certain monthly quota to maintain your distributionship. No, it doesn't exist. There is no inventory or stocks. Meaning, when you join this company, you are purely an order taker. You connect the customer to the company, and the company will give you commissions. As simple as that. No annual renewal fee, meaning that you don't have to pay some sort of fee every single year to be a distributor. No, no such thing. Accumulative group sales. Now, this is an amazing point. The company actually keeps track of all the sales that you have done. And the more sales that you have done in the past, your future sales can actually increase in commissions. How about that? And the company will continue to track and keep store all the sales that you have done. So accumulative group sales. It is a global business. You can do this business anywhere around the world. There are no borders. There are no restrictions, all right, except for certain countries. But pretty much anywhere in the world, you can do this business. It is a patented compensation plan. This is the only business plan like this. It doesn't exist anywhere else in the market. Some people will say, oh, I've seen many types of compensation plans. It's all the same. No, it is not the same. emGuarde's compensation plan is one of a kind. It's a legacy income to be inherited, meaning when you build this business, you will hit a certain rank in the future, and this particular rank will make you a leader in the company, and you will actually get passive residual income for the rest of your life, as long as you're with the emGuarde company. And when it touch wood, if anything were to happen to you, this residual income will go to your family or even your kids, and it will be used to take care of them so that you, at the very least, can leave them a legacy, right? And lastly, untapped market, guys. This device, this technology doesn't exist anywhere else. The way the emGuarde works, the way you can prove how the emGuarde works, I don't see it anywhere else, all right? And if you go and ask your neighbor, just speak to the 10 people around you in your neighborhood. Ask them, hey, have you heard of emGuarde? Have you heard of EMR radiation harming the body? They'll probably say yes to a certain degree. So they know about the problem, they don't know about the solution. And you can be the solution provider for your community of neighbors or even your friends. So untapped market, guys. Now, there are many types of commissions in the company. Too many for me to talk in this Zoom call, but I'm going to focus on the first type of commission called the 8A or 8 points commission, right? So how the company works, it functions from a direct selling perspective. How do you join this business? Very simple. All you need to do is buy one emGuarde, just one. The moment you buy one emGuarde, the company will give you the opportunity to become a distributor with no fees, with no additional costs. It is, you can think of it as free. The business comes for free, right? And you become a distributor for life. Now, once you become a distributor, you can start marketing this to your friends, your family, your community. And when you make your sales, you will get direct sales commission. But the interesting thing is that the people that you sold to, they too have the option to become a distributor for the company. Like yourself, right? Because they also bought one. They're also given the same opportunity. And when they start marketing it to their friends and family, you earn indirect sales. And a company, again, takes both your direct sales and indirect sales, and they actually accumulate it into your total group sales. Now, let's find out how much you get paid per emGuarde. Right? Now, an emGuarde costs $1,480 globally. The 8 points commission states that enagic allocates a preset budget of $520 per emGuarde sale for the distributors. And this $520 is split into 8 parts or 8 A's. So one A is $65. Very clear, right, guys? Price of emGuarde is 1,480. enagic allocates a budget of 520 per emGuarde, and this 520 is divided into 8 equal parts. But how much you get paid for every sale you make depends again on what? The accumulated group sales that you have made in the company. But of course, if you just started, you will have 0 group sales. So when you first start, you'll be introduced to your 1A distributor rank when you make your first and second direct sale. And you will earn $65 per direct sale on your first and second. But the moment you make your third direct sale, you get promoted to a 2A distributor and you earn $130 per emGuarde. Now, what happens when you continue and you continue to sell? Maybe some of your customers may also want to join the business. What happens is that your accumulated group sales actually start to stack up. And when you achieve 10 cumulative emGuarde group sales, your next direct sale, you become a 3A distributor and you earn $195 per emGuarde sale that you make. So all you do is achieve 10 group sales. They can be 5 direct, 5 indirect. It can be 3 direct, 7 indirect. Up to you. Up to you. Once you achieve your 10 group sales, you become a 3A distributor on your next direct sale and you earn $195. 4A, 20 cumulative emGuarde group sales. You become a 4A on your next direct sale and you earn $260 per emGuarde. Now let's pause here for a while, guys. If you sold one emGuarde and you made $260 per emGuarde, is that not good commissions? In Malaysia, that is amazing commissions. It's commissions that honestly is even more than some property agents, is even more than some car salesmen. And how much is the cost of the device that you are selling? $1,480. How much are cars? Expensive, right? But the commission for cars are actually much lower in terms of ratio compared here. Am I right, guys? So I hope you can see that. I hope you can see that the potential for this commission to not only return the cost of your investment, you will cover the cost of investment eventually, yes, but it can also lead to a lot more financial ability for you in your future if you do this business correctly. All right. Now, 5A, you need to have 50 cumulative emGuarde group sales. Then you become a 5A and you earn 325 US dollars. And we have 6A. All you need to achieve is 200 cumulative emGuarde group sales. You become a 6A and you earn 390 US dollars per emGuarde. Now, who here wants to be a 6A? Type 6A in the chat for me. Who here wants the success in the magic business and wants to achieve 6A? Type 6A in the chat for me. We have Sudha who raised his hand. He's like, I want to become a 6A. I want to become a 6A. Mehdi. Mehdi is like, I want to become a 6A 2-3. For those new here, 6A is not the end, yeah, guys. It's something more than 6A, 100%. Tika, 6A 2-3. Well, guys, I too want to become a 6A 2-3. I'm already a 6A, but I always want to, because there is more, guys, right? And I'll explain that in a bit. But yes, guys, when you become a 6A, every emGuarde that you sell is almost 400 US dollars per emGuarde. Wow, that's crazy commissions, amazing commissions. What if you are capable of marketing 10 emGuardes a month? That is 4,000 or almost 4,000, 3,900 US dollars for you to spend at your own deliberation, right? You can do whatever with the money you want. But wouldn't it feel great? Wouldn't you feel so empowered to be able to earn these types of commission? Absolutely, right? So this is the rank from 1A to 6A. These are the commissions that you will make based off your rank on your direct sales. How about your indirect sales, right? Because the company pays two types of commissions here. They pay direct and they pay indirect. So let's take a look at how much you can make if you have indirect sales. So this is you. This is everything in green is your commission. Now you make your first sale to Tom. You are a 1A distributor now. And Tom, when you make the sale to Tom, you make 65 US dollars. When you make your second direct sale to Alex, you are still a 1A distributor and you make 65 US dollars. But the moment you make your third direct sale to Rose, now you become a 2A distributor and you make 130 US dollars. What happens when Tom sells a unit to Grace? You will earn 65 US dollars. So as any sales that come underneath Tom or Alex. Because in our company, we call this the 1A overriding lane. All the sales underneath Tom and Alex is 1A. But that is also said for your 2A overriding lanes, like Rose and Kim. Let's say you brought in Kim. She buys an emGuarde from you, you make 130 US dollars. And she sells it to 3 of her closest friends, Ali, Abu, and Ani. You will make 130, 130, and 130. 3 times, guys. Because why? Because you, as a 2A distributor, you introduce Kim underneath your 2A overriding lane. And if you notice, we have 10 group sales already. And now you can open up your 3A overriding lane, which makes you a 3A distributor. And when May buys an emGuarde from you, you make 195 US dollars. And every time May sells an emGuarde, you will get 195 US dollars. And some of you are already be like, wow, I can really scale this business and the income can be massive. And you're absolutely right. What if May, You work with May, you support her, and she's able to sell 10 emGuardes for you every single month. That is 1,950 US dollars for you. I want to May my team, man. Definitely, right? But again, to re-emphasize, because all of these future sales that you get are underneath Kim, and she's your 2A overriding lane, it will not be 195, it will be 130. But where does this commission stop? Because Enagic is legitimate, they're reputable, and they're very, very strong. Only an unsteady, shaky company will overpay. In Enagic, because we want the company to be strong so that it lasts a long time, there needs to be a limit to the commissions that has to be paid. And the commissions, the limit to the commissions is in the name itself, right? We know that Enagic allocates 520 US dollars and is divided into 8 points. So that is the limit, guys. Let me show you how the 8 points are paid. John sells his first machine to Don. John will make 1 point or 65 US dollars. The next person that gets paid is Bob, because Bob is the one that sold John the emGuarde, right? And if you notice, John falls underneath Bob's third direct sale. 1, 2, 3. So like you, Tom, Alex, and Rose, like you and Rose, right? So when Bob sells to John, he will get 2A. Ani will get 2A. Kim will get 2A. If the company only has 8 points left, 8 points to give, sorry, not left. 8 minus 7, that leaves with 1 point left for you. And instead of 130, you will get 65 US dollars. The same thing applies if John sells a unit to Dave, because it is still John's 1A sale. But the moment John sells his machine and emGuarde to Dan, now he becomes promoted to a 2A distributor. He makes 2 points. Bob makes 2 points. Ani makes 2 points. Kim makes 2 points. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 minus 8, that leaves you with 0. And from this sale, you do not receive any commissions. It is considered a non-8A sale. And a non-8A sale do not count as a group sale for your rank advancement purposes. But this is just John to Dan. Can Bob continue introducing more people to the emGuarde? Yes. Can Bryce? Yes. Can Ani? Yes. And eventually, your group sale count will increase. You will get 20 group sales, and you can start introducing more people underneath yourself. You can open up your 4A overriding lane. You can introduce Tony. Every time Tony sells an emGuarde in your team, it is 260 US dollars. After 50 group sales, you become a 5A distributor. You find Simon. Every unit he sells is 325 US dollars for you. And eventually you will hit your 6A after 200 group sales, and you will earn 390 US dollars every time there's a sale underneath Sam's team. And there we go, guys. This is the 8 points commission. If you take a look at it, it is a very generous commission. Because why? The commissions that you make are very, very big from the start, and it only grows bigger and bigger. Not only are you able to recuperate your investment for your own particular device, but it gives you profits very, very quickly. Right? There's no monthly fee, there's no monthly you don't have to buy this every single month. No, just one purchase, 1,480 US dollars. And if you can take a look at the system, at how the 8-point system is structured, right? You can see that you could potentially scale this business very, very big, right? As a 6A distributor, guys, you're getting 390 US dollars per emGuarde. What if you're capable of building a team underneath your 6A, a team that produces 10 emGuardes for you every single month? So there we go. This is the business. And the one last thing I would say about this business is I absolutely love it. Because why? It is not a me business. It's not about what I can do. It is about what I can help my team to achieve. Because if you notice, if you read between the lines, you are not successful by yourself. You can only be truly successful if your team is also successful. Guys, what's worse than earning money alone? Not earning money at all, right? But guys, do you want to earn money yourself alone? No, we want to earn money together. Your friends, the family that you have, we want all of you guys to earn money together. But of course, nothing comes free, right? So this is the 8 points commission. And this is how the business is able to provide you potentially financial stability and also financial freedom. All right. So there we go, guys. Introducing Enagic's latest patented technology called the emGuarde. We went through what the device is doing for us. We went through the invincible threat that is around us. We went through the potential for you to join this business with your investment in an emGuarde with no additional costs. Guys, the business comes for free. Absolutely free. Whether you want to do the business or not, completely up to you. But I urge you, please consider investing in an emGuarde for yourself as well as for your family and especially for your children. Right? So there we go, introducing emGuarde, creating a harmonious space around the world. Now, I don't have a lot of time left, right? But I'm going to quickly promote this particular event. I'm sure some of you in this group chat, Zoom call, you're going to come for this event. This event is happening on October 19th and 20th. If you want evidence, if you want social proof that this business is doable, right? If you want to have absolute clarity as to what this business could potentially be for you or provide for you, I urge you, invest in coming for this event that's happening in Kuala Lumpur on October 19th and 20th. Come a few days earlier, get yourself acquainted to our timing and everything so you don't feel tired for the event. But come for the event for a few reasons. First, see for yourself firsthand the people that are involved in this business. And guys, you will not be disappointed. You will see that there's a lot of people involved in this business. You will see that a lot of people involved in this business are just ordinary people. And some have made millions from this business. The second thing, come and take a look. Find out more information for yourself, whether this business is for you. Because in this event, you will find out a lot of information that I cannot share here because it'll take too much time. But information concerning the product and even the business. Perhaps it might give you a light bulb idea, a golden nugget for you to be like, wow, hey, that's actually for me. That is something that I could do as well, right? So come and find out. And number 3, come and get absolute clarity on the product itself. Because you'll be talking about how the product works, what's inside the product. I think someone asked the question just now. What's inside the product? What's inside this black box? What's inside? What's the technology inside? I don't know how to tell you because I'm not a tech guy. All I know is that there's some chip and some things in there. That's all I know. All right. But come and find out. Come and find out for yourself. Come and understand. And I think the last reason, come and meet other successful distributors. Come and hear their stories. Ask them questions. They will share with you. And you will find out that a lot of these distributors, they became successful because they truly wanted it for themselves. All right. So the event is happening on October 19th and 20th. You can register for the event using this QR code. You can just scan it with your phone and you can actually buy these tickets for you to come. But do not wait because the tickets are running out. I believe the hall's capacity is about 1,000 people. And I believe over 80% of tickets have already been sold, right? So you guys don't want to miss the event. And lastly, guys, this is the QR code that you can attach yourself to. On the left, we have the official emGuarde Telegram group. You can attach yourself to that to find out the latest event, to find out what is happening around the world. By the way, guys, there's actually a Europe tour happening. There's going to be UK, Rome, and a few other places where a team is going to come and support everyone there on what emGuarde is. They will also do an intensive training there as well. All right, so you guys don't want to miss that. Sign into this Telegram group to find out the exact dates. And if you're wondering, where are all these videos? Where are all these files? It is in the Telegram group. In the Telegram group, you can actually go now and download this slide that I'm using. The exact slides I'm using, it will have all the videos inside the slides for you. So you can actually just take out the video yourself, right? I particularly don't have the individual sources of these videos, but I know it's all in that presentation file. So just go in Telegram group, scan the QR code, and get it for yourself. The middle QR code is the official emGuarde website. If you want to see some certificates or even the patent for the technology, you can go to the middle QR. All right, guys. So that's all I have for you today. I hope that after today, the ones who are new, you leave here with some knowledge, some clarity, and you have the right information to decide for yourself whether or not you want to invest in an emGuarde, or even better, if you want to be part of this project that's happening internationally. All right. All I can say is this opportunity does not come every single day. All right. What if, I mean, let's face it, when is the last time you heard of a groundbreaking technology and you missed the opportunity to be part of it? For an example, when Apple first launched the iPhone, was it not the iPhone product itself that made Apple where it is right now? It was, right? The invention of the Apple phones. Why didn't you buy Apple stocks? If you would have bought Apple stocks back then, you can think of the returns that you can potentially make. So same thing for the emGuarde. This technology is one of a kind. It doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. And it solves a huge problem. Huge problem. And you are now at the very start of the expansion of this amazing technology. You guys, just look at the camera, guys. You see so many emGuardes in front of the cameras. I'm not the only one who has it. There are thousands of people around the world who have invested in this technology. There are thousands of people around the world who want this technology. And you can be the person to provide this technology to them in your community, in your country, in your area. All right. So if you guys want to think about it, be my guest. Because somebody else might sell it to your family or your friends. Somebody might, right? So if you want to avoid that, you want to get started right now. So that's all I have. I think I will just leave I'm going to open the next 5 minutes to